i-respond. Ngizoyibeka ngesilungu ngoba
asenzele nalabo abanye abasilalele
ngizoyibeka ngesilungu nesizulu. Soshaya ohlangothi zombili. You know, as an African, it's very painful. Kubuhlungu ukuthi mase su commemorate noma sugubha sengithetha
sigubha intando yeningi
sigubha
umbuso wentando yeningi noma ungekho lo mbuso wentando yeningi intando yeningi isaqindezekile isahlupheka ikakathuli kodwa kuthiwa umbuso wentando yeningi kodwa intando yeningi ayibusi
asibeka
abantu abayinini
asibeka nje. I always say maungazi ngehistory yakho you'll never know your future
and you'll never know where you're going.
You'll never know where you're going. So it becomes a moral compass. I think you've seen my statement.
I've seen. I wanted to read the statement and explain more further.
Moral compass meaning we conservatism is an ideology that has its impande, its roots in morals. Phecelezi ngesiZulu isintu. Let me explain to you. Ubuntu. I was just telling some young girls, I was on the radio station yesterday in Soul City, and I said to people, for example, African people were NTU,
which I'm part of it.
So when you qoqa all the twos together, sigcine sibe abantu. So people don't young people were saying to me, "Ushukti," you see, because these things are not taught in school.
Yeah.
So conservatives are basically values seen to.
Right.
What do you
mean by that?
For example, you have a tradition and you have a culture.
Right.
So culture evolves
from time to time.
It evolves, right? For example, ukufika kwabelungu la sasingenazo imoto. Angithi sasidabuza ngenyawo.
Sasama ngenyawo nangama 2 series amadonki namahashe.
Exactly. So as culture evolves, right? Things change.
Absolutely.
Language change and so forth. But the principle, the main foundation of it always comes down to siyakholelwa.
Yeah.
Siyakholelwa kwisintu noma siyakholelwa ngendlela esikhonza ngayo. Noma siyakholelwa ngendlela yempilo. So those are values. Once you understand those values, isilungu isingisi, this is what we call a political lesson 101.
Yeah.
I love politics.
Right.
It's called conservatism. Conservatism is the opposite of Marxism. Ever?
It's the opposite of Marxism
and Leninism.
Does that include Leninism?
Leninism, Marxism is all the same thing. It's left.
The left politics.
Left politics. Socialism. And then in the center,
we have communism.
No, communism is left.
Okay.
Dialectical materialism, Fanonism, anything that's to do with taking the purse, which is the treasury, and it being manipulated and managed by an elite, right? In the name of intando yeningi, but controlled by ingxenye,
the few.
if you. In the center is, or center right, what we call politically. Center right is conservatism, which is free markets. Socialism is not free market. Socialism is government must control everything.
Talking about the socialism, Mr. Kennedy, do you think socialism is it sustainable in a capitalist state like South Africa today?
I'm coming there.
Okay.
So center right, conservatives, free markets, land ownership, property rights, there was all constitution and so forth.
Ufuna sizwe lapho, or property rights.
Yeah.
Ngoba property rights, it's a very important issue. Ngoba manje ilungelo lokuthi ke thina ke abantu nobuntu bethu asikakabi namalungelo sokuthi si-own ama-property.
I'm coming there.
Yeah. ufuna ukwazi.
And then on your right, I think you got left.
Yeah, and then on your right, you have far
On your right, they besukuthola lento le amabhunu kuthiwa
right wing.
nationalism.
Nationalism.
It's called nationalists.
The nationalists.
Those who believe or political ideology called reconstructionism. Saudi Arabia is a reconstructionist state because it's driven by a religious agenda.
Okay.
So anything that is the opposite of a free market, a freedom of expression, a freedom of association, because nationalism is no freedoms. It's autocratic, it's totalitarian, this is the way, there's no other way. So that's where you find, not that far, but on the right you have Freedom Front Plus, and then closer to Freedom Front Plus you have ACDP.
With the touch and twist of Christianity.
Exactly. And then you will have Al Jamaa.
With the touch and twist of Muslim in Islam.
Exactly. So on your left you'll have SACP, ANC, IFP, UDM, I'm talking Black Party, PAC, AZAPO, whose ideological foundation is rooted in the purse, which is the treasury, which is government spending, taxation, nationalization, land expropriation, everything controlled by the state. And you as an individual, you have no rights.
Some will argue the fact that if everything is controlled by the state, it's much better than when everything is being privatized. So now here we are talking of what is important for the South